everybody.
Hey everybody.
So Lucy, what's for dinner tonight?
Chicken wings.
Chicken wings. How are we cooking them?
Air fryer.
In the air fryer. So I have my assistant Lucy up here to do the hard work for us. All right. So she is going to combine our seasonings with our chicken wings. So we've got both different kinds of chicken wings here. We're going to season it with two of our favorite seasonings. This is crazy salt. And then this is actually from Knobska Farms on the Cape, and it's this really, really good chipotle seasoning. It's kind of spicy. So Lucy, why don't you jump in there and start mixing that around a little bit, and I'm gonna add a little more. So what we're doing that's a little different with this is we're gonna do a technique called dry brining. So if you know what brining is, it's when you take something, usually a protein, and you soak it in salty water. The water might have other flavors, it might have sugar with it too, but your goal is that that salt is going to look for equilibrium. So you've got salty water, not salty meat. The salt is going to make its way into that meat. The meat's going to hold on to some more moisture, which makes it more forgiving when you cook it, but it's also going to bring a little salt and season the inside of the meat. The problem with that is that it also washes away some of the flavor and because it adds more water to it. So by doing this dry brining, I'm going to sprinkle a little more on here, just so it's a little more even. What's going to happen is, after Lucy's done, she's going to spread them on this sheet pan that has a wire rack on it, and then air will be able to circulate. So the salt that's on the top of this, that's in both of these seasonings, is going to pull moisture out of the chicken. That moisture is going to end up on the surface of the chicken, and then it's going to dissolve the salt. So now you've just created a brine out of the juices from the chicken and the salt. That's right. Now that brine is actually going to get reabsorbed into the chicken. So it's just like salting your chicken ahead of time, but what's actually happening is we're going to season the inside of the meat with salt, and they're going to be awesome. Why don't you go ahead and dump those on the tray now? And we'll spread them out all into one layer, and then we'll come back in a few minutes and you'll see, and it's already starting to happen, but you'll see that the chicken actually starts to look really wet. And then we'll come back a little while after that, 45 minutes ago, and you'll see that it starts to get dry because it's reabsorbed all of that brine. What do you think? All right. I got a little distracted, so these sat here for about an hour, but you can see that the skin really is pretty dry compared to what it looked like after Lucy initially added that salt. So now I'm going to go ahead and spread these out and put them in my air fryer at 370 degrees for 8 minutes. Then I'll show you what we do next. So it's been 8 minutes. You can see some steam coming out of there. Our wings are just barely getting a little bit of color on there. You can see that I purposely left some space in between. It's really important when we're air frying stuff that the hot air can move in between. That's what's going to help us to get nice crispy skin. So the next step is I'm going to flip them over and then put them back in for 5 more minutes. The screen just got a little foggy from all the steam coming off, but you can hear them sizzling a little bit. They're just starting to turn brown. They're almost cooked, but now what I like to do is for the last 3 or 4 minutes, crank the heat up on the air fryer as high as it can go to try to get them a little more brown. By being able to get them more brown, we're going to certainly create more flavor and a little bit more texture. And they're going to look nice and golden brown. I'll be back in 3 minutes. There we go. Nice golden brown, crispy. Cranking up the heat at the end really makes a big difference, I think, on the finished product. I'm going to get Lucy over here, who's our wing master, and let her taste and let you know what she thinks. Hey Lucy, tell me about the wings. How do they look and smell?
They look amazing and they smell really good.
All right. Before you go ahead and take a bite out of them, actually, what's that thing next to you there?
That's peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Why do we have that?
Because my mother doesn't really like chicken wings, and so my mom made him peanut butter and jelly sandwich instead of chicken wings.
And that was very nice of her. Before you take a bite of your wing, will you read us tonight's question?
Sure. What does caramelize mean?
All right, an excellent question. We use that word a lot, but I don't know if we know what it means. Go ahead and take a bite.
Okay.
A little crispy.
And really good.
All right, I'm glad to hear it.
Bye. Have a nice day.